So, go over here. Fire
Where are you sitting here? Oh, no, he'll sit here. That's okay. Okay.
I'm here though. I'm sorry I'm not coming.
I can hear that. Okay, if you get home, it's only again. It's just, yeah, there's not. Start the recording already.
Can you make this louder?
You're drawing custom plastic. And to see you drawing custom plastic.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been on for a few years.
yeah, they're great. I went to,
Guys that have hot rods and old barrels and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Dave Simpson.
And what would I do? Maybe that.
If I can have quiet, please, we need to get started at 6 o'clock. I got people waiting on there, if you don't mind, thank you. All right, this is a meeting of the Plainfield Select Board at 6 p.m. My name is Jim Bolts, I'm the chair of the Select Board. With me is Carl Bissell, and on sorry, on
that's okay.
And on Zoom is our other select board member, Patty Jamel.
Hi.
Hi, Patty. Thanks for being able to come. Sorry that you're not feeling well. All right. Are there any changes to the agenda? No. I have one. You can add. That's normally, yeah. What is it?
It's to delete the request for the approval of the LEMP.
Okay, I like that. That's the kind of change.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot.
Yeah, it's actually already been done back in May 14th.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, request for approval. Delete that. Great. Is that all right with you, Patty and Carl?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is.
Yes.
Right. Any other changes to the agenda? All right. Any announcements? Well, the one I like, is we've expanded our select board to 5. And there are only 3 of us right now, open positions. But I'm hoping that people will sign up and apply for those. I think there's an election on the
13th, I think.
13th is August 13th.
This guy would know.
Yeah, August 13th is the election, Brad?
Yes, August 13th.
August 13th, so anybody interested can get the forms you need to at the clerk's office. I think you have to get a petition and you have to get like 10 people to sign it.
And you have that in Bram by July 3rd.
By July 3rd.
Well, actually,
Is that right?
It's actually July 9th.
July 9th,
So
okay.
July 9th, there were 2 different dates on different websites. So
Okay.
it's probably the 9th.
But not, all right, get it in early July anyway.
Yes, get it in.
And then the vote will be on August 13th. Great, it'll be great to have more people on the select board, that will help a lot.
Yes.
I would just give a pitch, which is, it's not that time consuming, we meet twice a month, it's a couple of hours, and that's it. And there's some emails to read in between, a little bit of stuff that you have to do in between, but not a whole lot, it's not that time consuming, so I would urge people to not be afraid to apply. Anyway, okay, good. If you're not be afraid about the work. Yeah, Michael.
I have an announcement for the public, which is that as of Monday, we've had full air conditioning installed in the ground floor of the town hall. So we are going to go on the state directory as a cooling center. And I will be opening that cooling center if we have progressive days above 90 degrees or 95 degrees. And I'll be looking for volunteers to help man that center. So if you're interested in hanging out in a cool space, let me know. My email address is on the town website.
Great, thank you. Any other announcements? All right.
Thank you.
Yes, Patty, go ahead.
I just said that was great work. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, yes, thanks. Thank you, Michael. Town clerk's report?
Yes, I was wondering if we could have Patty go first prior to discussion of speed road stuff.
Patty on the top.
I mean, sorry, Penny.
Penny, okay, go ahead, Penny.
Hey, what would you like to know?
Well, I guess the sort of rough outline is, we've been just to give people background on what we're doing. the checkbook had not been reconciled since last July.
Just to bring people up to date, what's the job that Penny's doing?
Right, Penny is basically acting as someone to get our books in shape. I mean, it's not a formal auditor designation, but it serves the same role.
But
And-
we brought her in to go over our books.
Correct.
And to help straighten things out.
Correct.
Okay.
So Penny has been working the last couple of weeks to try to get things in order. And I guess what people would want to know is, you know, are things, you feel things are getting more on track? What's your feeling?
So actually, paperwork hadn't been done since June 1st. And the computer system had never been used for bank reconciliations. So the first thing you have to do is took some time because we had to do the number. We had to have and the 22 years worth of, or 5 years worth of expenses and revenues that had never been cleared. Or I would be back doing 4,000 years ago. So I started with June 30th. We got through that. I also, what I did is, first thing I did is while I was waiting for all this to happen, I approved your loan balances as of June 30th. And they were all within just a few dollars of each other, so your loan balances were ish at the end of the year, so there's no issues on those. Once I got to June, which was hard. Cause we also voided checks that hadn't cleared because it was just a nightmare. July through October went pretty quickly, pretty fast. Few deposits missing, minor adjustments that needed to be done. Interest had never been recorded on the investment account at all for any of the months. Then I get to November and I started having a little bit of issues about checks not matching up, things like that, which are not uncommon, but normally you catch them the month after and you fix them. So got through to December and I started January, February, March and April. Starting in maybe February, the state monies that were coming in for special payments weren't showing up in the computers. Like I know there was 2 for reappraisal. And just one from the state of Vermont, I don't even know what it's for yet, but I have a list. And I did like the reappraisal ones I put out against reappraisal. The other ones, I just put miscellaneous income, because I had no idea what to flow. And then the bank statements, this computer system now have a lot of ins and outs of the exact same number that have just been repeated over and over again. And that's where I stopped, because that's gonna take some concentration and some time without any disruptions to figure it out, what was trying to happen. I know that a lot were trying to reverse things, but when they reverse things, they reversed the exact same way. So I might have 3 numbers on as a debit that are exact same debit numbers. I don't have the same corresponding 3 numbers on the other side. So it just has to be researched to figure out what they were trying to do.
Essentially, I think for everybody to understand, I think that Penny is going through and you know, we're uncovering a lot of things that are problematic. I think that once the dust settles and things calm down more, there's going to be a major meeting with NEMRIC and others in terms of really changing the way things are done. I mean, it's not as it should be. I mean, this is beyond, you know, the previous town clerk and all that. We basically had a system that took advantage of some aspects of the computer thing, and then everything else was manual. But when one piece drops out, chaos ensues. So that's where we are. And I think that you know, going into the to the tax rate setting and all that, I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a high increase, and that has to do not so much with bookkeeping, but by the management of the emergency fund situation. I've been able to secure payments for about $30,000 in the next 2 weeks. In terms of the larger payments, I have yet to get clarity from FEMA. This would be a payment of about 200 something thousand. I think the town spent about 320,000 on the emergency itself. So the bottom line is, without knowing that we're going to get those funds, it's going to adversely impact the tax rate. So I just want to give everybody a heads up on that. Hopefully we can do something, and also Penny, we can find out what the number is for cash on hand, because it's a bit of a mystery right now. Just so people understand, there's the banking system, and then there's the internal accounting system, and that's sort of where things sort of start falling through the cracks. It's you know, and I'm going to be meeting. We close our books. We're people don't really understand this, but our financial year ends July 1st. So you know, there's a lot of push to try to get things in order before that.
It's actually June 30th, right?
Yeah, June 30th. Yeah, our new year starts July 1st. So
I have till Monday.
we have till Monday, exactly. So, and I'm meeting Penny tomorrow to go over a number of things. In the short term, we are going to have cash flow issues, without a doubt. And unfortunately, the balance sheet and the numbers are in such poor shape that the banks are not really interested in giving us money in the short term. But I'm going to be once again borrowing from reserve funds. Like there's about 150 in a paving fund, and we'll use that to cover before we get the taxes coming in August. So you know, it's sort of maybe a good thing, probably a lot cheaper than going through the bank. But in future, when there's an emergency, the town needs to borrow these funds from an institution and not shell out a lot of money that we don't have, and then we get caught in the interim. Any other?
I have something supportive to say, Brian. Sarah O'Brien, who you recommended to do the assistance with finding a job description for clerk and for treasurer.
Yeah.
Has done bookkeeping systems design and worked with bookkeeping software, so she would like to meet at some point with you and Alan.
Yeah, sure.
As part of the future recommendation for the kind of bookkeeping system that actually works for the town. She says that the present one is one that the town's bookkeeping system is about equivalent for what you'd use for running a small business, and it's very inadequate.
You talking about NIMRIC?
Yeah, I don't know.
NIMRIC is not inadequate, you're not using it correctly.
Yeah.
But actually, she had looked at your bookkeeping system, she looked at the outcome, in
Right.
terms of
The outcome depends on who puts it in.
That's
That
right.
has nothing to do with the program itself.
Yeah, every time I'm on with like, for example, we had to hand calculate the amount for Vermont retirement.
Yeah,
And I said, why isn't this a generated report? It actually is, but it requires going through a whole series of steps, and it's something that we don't want to do right as we're closing the books.
well, I understand that.
Right.
Sarah's gonna be available after the 1st of July. She's gonna wait until after the 1st of July to contact you, so it doesn't add to your burden, but she's there to help with that.
Sounds good. Great. And do you have any questions for Penny or?
Well, it sounds like it's just a process of slowly going through
It's a process.
item by item.
And after that, all the other funds that you have separate checking accounts for, all have to be done. And you've got a lot of them,
Mhm.
and they can be combined into one, if the program is working correctly.
Okay.
Just for a future reference for you,
And that's what you recommend?
I recommend the program be used correctly.
Yeah, right.
And then whoever's doing the work will have one payroll.
There's a misinterpretation
Oh,
of,
you're not using fund accounting as a fund accounting. You're using the program to run 3 or 4 different businesses. Instead of using one as a fund. And that's what's missing in the use of the program.
Does that make it more complicated, whoever's doing the,
Actually,
Okay.
it would make it much easier.
when you're doing it with one
When
fund?
it's done, when it's done correctly,
Yeah.
Right,
all the funds talk to each other.
okay,
And you don't have to have separate checking accounts and checking accounts. You use what's termed due to due from.
mhm,
So if the water department's paying a whole bunch of bills, their due to due from goes up. The town part goes down, so that just says that they owe the town that much. The due to due from kind of work like a checking account, is how I explain it.
mhm.
So water department pays bills, their checking account, due to fund goes down. And then the town side is cutting the money, but theirs goes up because the water owes it to the town. It's just a process of using one account across the whole thing, they always have to equal zero.
Mhm.
If they don't equal zero, you stop that minute and you find out why they don't.
And the way it's done now is Carol calculates what water and sewer owes, I calculate what the town owes. And we send two separate checks and, it's.
But Kenny's gonna help you straighten this out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great, great, thanks.
So thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, good, thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just one other thing though, just to
Yeah.
follow up on this, so when you have an invoice for a location. Okay, we'll pick Green Mountain Power, cause that's usually all the departments use Green Mountain Power. The bill doesn't get keyed in 4 different times.
Right,
Gets keyed in once. You pick the class or the fund that's paying that portion, the system automatically puts it towards the right fund. So you're saving that person from keying in one program, getting out, going to another program, keying in, getting out, going to a third program. It's much quicker,
Yeah.
more efficient when it's done correctly.
great, good, thanks.
So
Good.
that's where you really wanna head.
Yeah, great, that's good, so thanks for helping us out, yeah. Any other stuff on the town report, report?
Well, I just wanted to mention, 2 aspects of, the Bean Road situation has brought up, what I think should be reformed in terms of our permitting process.
Yeah,
Other towns, when you, apply for a permit, there's a line that says, you certify that you're in compliance with other town rules, and that there are no outstanding issues.
right,
And if the person isn't, then the other issues are resolved before we proceed with anything else.
Right.
I think it's a pretty common sense thing, I think we should add that to the permitting. The other thing that 79 Bean Road situation brings up, in my view, is who has standing when the property owner is deceased to file for permits. So right now, there isn't really an organized way of understanding who's supposed to represent the estate and so forth. That, I think, presents potential legal liability for the town. Because if we recognize one group of people as representing an estate without a court appointed anything, and they get into an entanglement with another family group, I think that you could see the town getting involved in that, and I think we need to have a process.
yeah, so on the first one, we'll be revising the form then, is that how we would?
Yeah, basically, there's a general policy that,
They have to state, they have to answer a question, are you in compliance?
right,
And then get into the form.
and are there any outstanding issues with the town? Yes or no, understanding that this permit is not gonna proceed.
Right, and so you're gonna present us at a future meeting with the revised form that has that in it?
Yeah, I mean, I will.
Or we could ask the lawyer.
I think that there are other towns that do this, so.
Yeah, we can get it from another town.
Yeah.
The language and incorporate it into our form, that would be great,
Exactly.
but I just want to understand how we were gonna implement it, and the way.
Right, and I think, I'll get ideas from other towns.
Okay, great, so you'll bring something forward at that point.
But that doesn't help with the permit.
Now, as far as the Bean Road, the piece of property that I think the person who's living there right now applied for, submitted a permit application, is that what we're talking about, Fran?
Yes.
Okay, so if they can't show that they're the owner, then I don't think we should move on that application.
I agree.
Okay, great.
I think that the town should be
Right.
very wary.
Right,
I think we're opening up a can of worms.
Right,
The
so-
state is not gonna intimidate, and we don't, I mean, what, somebody comes
Right.
forward, he's
Right,
occupying.
so we
land,
just tell them we can't process it until it's clearly. So who's in charge of responding to that application? Would that be-
Well, I think it would
What
be-
would have been Karen's story? She's still.
I think it's Karen's call on one end, on the other end, the driveway cut permit is Michael Bingham. And I told him to hold off on anything until this meeting and
Well, if you could let Karen and Michael know,
yeah,
does Carl and Patty, do you agree with me and with Fran?
Yeah, I'm supportive of the changes,
Right.
and if we could get a document, we could actually move on and, have a motion on it, vote on it, that would be good.
Yeah, on the one document, but on the other question, whether they should go forward on processing the application that was.
Oh,
I think Fran is right, we shouldn't go forward on in processing.
yeah,
Do you agree, Patty?
I do agree, yes.
I agree. So if you could convey that to Karen
Yes.
and to Michael,
if you wanna also have a formal vote, just.
so I think we just did.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I just asked everybody if they agreed with it.
Okay.
I said, yes, I think that's essentially the
She
same.
had a question, Lisa did.
Yeah.
Would it help if I went and put my sister in the probate?
Sorry, this is the.
Yes, could
sister
you
of
identify,
the
could you
deceased
identify yourself, state your name for the recording,
for the-
Oh, Lisa got there.
okay? And your sister is the one who owned the property and she
Yes,
passed
no,
away
we
recently,
Terry.
she passed away recently.
Yes.
It's up to you whether you wanna do that or
Well, I wanna help the town
not, okay,
with all this.
yeah,
Well, I know we're going to court July 8th, and I
Yeah.
thought the lawyer, there Michael Weber said,
yeah, Tanner.
he's already taken care of everything and that if by you doing that, he's already looked into that, it's not gonna help at this point.
Okay.
I believe that's what the emails that you had sent to me from him.
Well, he was waiting for the probate to be opened and if it hasn't been opened yet and you can cause it to be open, that might be helpful.
But what is this July 8th thing that's gonna be
It's-
voted on, or the courts
I think it's on on this case.
on opening the probate,
I'm
or?
not sure, to be honest with you.
See, that's what we don't know, what is this July 8th hearing that's gonna be held?
I might be able to find out.
yeah, I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything either.
No,
But I do remember him saying that he's covered all the bases, cause I know Sarah had come in and said, well, she would work with Lisa to file whatever was necessary, but then it came back, Michael Terrence says, I've already touched all these bases, and at this time, it wouldn't be of value.
okay, that's what he said, then, yeah, let's do that.
But again, we can't figure out what this July 8th, what we're going to court for.
Well, I might know, but I just, you haven't looked at it
I mean, I
recently.
don't know if it's opening the probate, I don't know.
I think we filed a complaint to enforce the notice of violation. The
Right,
town issued it, and that complaint is being heard in this.
at the court,
And the hearing on July 8th, I think it's the status time
okay,
in that case.
so,
So whether. So it has nothing to do with the probate, it's
okay,
completely separate, that's to do with Karen's notice of violation to the, so. But in the past, he has told me that part of the problem with clearing this up is that he's waiting for the probate to open. So it might be helpful for you to go ahead.
Sarah, are you online? I see her name, she said that she would work with you before, she has an email.
I think she just unmuted.
Sarah?
Is that Kim?
Hi there, you had
Hi.
mentioned before that you would work with Lisa in regards to filing whatever necessary to open up probate, was that it?
Yeah, if Lisa wanted to do that, I'd be happy to kind of go through the steps and,
Okay.
to help her to open the estate, because I think that's the issue. It's, to get this going, somebody has to step forward to open it. And so nothing's going to happen until someone with vested interest does that. And
Yes.
Lisa can absolutely do that.
So, Lisa, do you wanna work with Sarah? Sarah, do you have Lisa's Gothier's phone number?
I think someone had sent it last week. I just wasn't sure if Lisa would want me to give her a call.
Yes.
Okay.
All
I
right,
think Lisa said yes, go ahead and call her. And if you want to work with her in regards to opening probate, let's see what happens.
and Sarah, if you could state your full name for our recording.
Hi, Sarah Pollica.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sure
Sounds
thing.
like, sounds like this can help, with that July 8th meeting.
I don't know if it'll be in time.
And, well, yeah, but we know that legal things take a
Yes,
long time,
right.
so.
I think that it should be made clear that the person who's occupying this, this house. Is being very aggressive in terms of, you know, asking for these permits and so forth, and I would also note. It's not active, but he or someone has a listing on Zillow for the property.
To sell it, you mean?
That they were
To sell the property on.
Yeah, in other words,
Yeah, it is.
it seems to me, what that indicates to me is that somebody is gonna try to, you know, once again gum up the works by trying to sell
You
it
got
to
it out
somebody.
there to sell?
Yeah, my son called me from New York and he told me that my sister's property was Zillow. So I called the town to let them know
Well, he
that
won't- he
it
won't be able-
was out there.
He won't be able to sell it because he's actually the deed holder,
Right.
and that probably won't happen until probate's done, so.
Yeah,
It
it's,
might be helpful if you sold it because the new owner would get notice that they can't keep doing what's, because of the notice of
Right.
violation, they can't keep doing the activity that's going on now.
Is it listed as a seasonal lot?
No. It
No,
doesn't list
no.
as a seasonal lot. I don't believe so. Look it
No.
up on Zillow, you can look it up on Zillow,
Okay,
there's
I
no
will.
price, it's
Yeah,
not
I will.
for sale, but I'm just saying that. We're dealing with an aggressive person
Okay.
who's gaming the system and
Yeah.
we need to be played off that.
well, they're also gonna try to gum it up, like you said.
Yeah.
Right,
If we can just follow the rules that we have and wait for the court, then.
Did
I
you
think-
ever find out who paid the property taxes on it?
they didn't have it wasn't, I don't know if it was paid in cash, there wasn't
That's
a
what I
listing,
thought.
Yeah,
there wasn't a personal.
No check, so they paid the cash. But did you have a receipt?
I can't remember,
Yeah.
Carol looked it up and I needed.
That's what I said to Lisa, I bet they paid in cash,
Yeah.
there's no
I
trail.
don't think so.
Right,
Anyway.
that wouldn't, they wouldn't wanna leave a trail.
Right,
Well, it's to the benefit of the whoever owns it, so it doesn't really matter to make the payment, you know who benefits.
no, but I had been told there was a sister, but then we find out, no, it isn't no sisters that paying. Okay,
Anyway, somebody did. All right, is that it for Bean Road for now?
Yeah, that's it.
And then we already did the financial consultant report. Is there anything else for the?
Nothing, I know the fire, in the sheriff's department's contract is in there, needs to be signed. And
Where is that in here?
I think it's in that
Okay,
file there,
we need to
so
sign
let's make
stuff.
sure to get that signed.
I'll sign that before I leave. All right, I think we're up to the resignation of our longstanding fire chief, Greg White.
thank you,
Thank
Brandon.
you, Patty.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jim.
Thanks.
All right.
And for the recording, the third person talking about Bean Road is Kim Nolan.
Yes.
but yeah, Sarah, I hope you reaches out to me, cause I will need help.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can go up.
I'll reach out, Lisa.
Thank you for being on it.
All right,
Outstanding, it's the shortest one in history.
Yeah, right. Well, like, this way, he's the only one I've known directly, the whole time that I've.
5 years.
It's 5 years. That's how long I've known.
That's cheap.
And that's how long I've been on the select board.
I've been on the park for a long time.
Yes, all right, so tell us about your resignation. Well, we're not gonna accept it.
I can go for that.
Well,
You're gonna be missed, I guess, that's what you're trying
I
to.
think back a year ago, April, I had formed a select board that, within the year, I was gonna be looking to step down
Right.
due to the fact that I moved over East Montpelier.
Right. Yeah.
And join them.
So, yeah, nobody was totally stepped forward and a couple weeks ago, I put a text together and let you guys know that I really needed to step down. from the
Yeah,
organization.
Okay.
And Gary has, guess they had a little meeting and Gary jumped up and wanted to be chief.
Again?
Yeah, he's not the way to.
But really, thanks a lot.
I want Jonathan to do.
Yeah,
Gary was chief and I joined.
See, you're the chief the same way that I'm on the select board. I didn't really want to be, but I got.
And we-
Yeah.
So really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, Greg, it's been really great having you in that role, and it's sad, but things change, right? So good luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the department, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Good, thanks you for your service.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
The department will be in great hands with Gary, he's got a lot of experience.
Right, yeah.
I remember Gary when I was on the board before.
And when I joined the department in 1988, he was cheap.
Thanks.
Gary, I have a small question, which is that I have to rewrite the local emergency management plan to show the new personnel. So could I get from you a listing of who's heading up each part of the fire department, and so I can provide it as current?
When I do that, you know, we haven't had a meeting to sit down, and see who's gonna be where.
Okay,
and
sure.
everything.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All right.
Is there any kind of terms that you work with on this? Is it an expectation?
I told Jonathan, I said, because I recommended Jonathan, everybody pretty much wanted Jonathan. But he's busy building a house.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of hoping that he'd be far enough along so that he could reconsider. But he said he wasn't, so he said, I want you to do it. And I said, well, I said, I will on one condition. And he said, what that? And I said, say 6 months or whatever from now,
Okay,
if you're along on your house, you will reconsider.
yeah, good.
You know,
He
'cause
said he would reconsider.
he said he would
Okay,
reconsider.
great.
Us old guys get tired, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
Anything else?
Thank you for stepping in.
Yeah, thanks.
That's really great.
Yeah.
And must be relief to you to know somebody's who knows how to do the job.
He's still got
Mhm.
Yeah, can I ask for a better person?
Yeah,
If not, I got his phone number.
I agree.
He will be done.
Yeah,
All right. That is for the.
Thanks for the-
Okay.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Good work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're still gonna work on the barbecue every year?
What?
You're still gonna work on the barbecue every year?
Oh, yeah, I like chicken.
Okay, good.
Are you staying, Gary? Are you staying?
Yeah, and then accepted.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gotta be voted in.
okay, I'll.
We first have to accept his.
Oh, yeah, now we have no fire chief.
That's right.
Mm.
What's that?
We have to appoint the fire chief.
I'm not sure it's official, but we probably should.
Okay.
I would move that we accept Greg's resignation
Yeah.
with regret
Yeah.
and Gary be appointed to
Okay.
the position. Yeah.
All in favor?
I agree. I'm in favor.
Patty said aye as well. So that's unanimous. Thank you. Eric, yeah.
John.
Who's Johnny?
Jonathan Matthew.
He's been on the fire department for quite a while as well.
Yeah.
We have some long timers in that group.
Is he still rescue squad leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary, what do you got, 52 or 53 years in that department?
Wow.
Probably.
For him.
Yeah. Okay, next we're up. for-
Thank you both again.
Be in touch.
Now we're up to Janice.
Aren't you gonna appoint?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
You want me to-
didn't I do that in the last one?
No,
I accepted resignation and then.
yeah, we did it. Right.
Oh, okay.
We, I think,
You're in, man.
we're all, we said all we're all in favor.
Big plus.
We all said aye.
Yeah, there, now we're up to
It's on the floor.
Now the change.
development review board request for use of funds for legal fees. You want
Yeah, so the DRB has a hearing that's contentious with two neighbors, and one of the one who made the appeal continues to submit documents, and both of them have talked to the state, and they've gotten different information from the state. One of our board members, Seth Mullendorf, said he spoke to a friend who said it's not atypical for a person from A&R to give conflicting information about, or we're dealing with class 2 wetland boundaries, what the issue is. And so I need to have legal advice about, like, how do we accept this information if it's conflicting? Do we accept the A&R it's not a consultant, but it's a, wetlands expert specialist. Whose opinion do we, which piece of information do we take, the earlier one or the most recent? And there's also a list of things that she's demanding that we look at in the appeal, which I believe we can just say not relevant, but I'd really like a lawyer to look at her demands and make sure that we meet our obligation as a board to address her concerns. And so I need some legal counsel here because, you know, it's contentious, and so it would be a little support just to have the town legal, you know, counsel say, this is how we proceed. And then I have that authority behind me to say, this is what the town can do about this situation.
Okay, yeah, so I was gonna ask you why a lawyer, but I, in terms of the exposure of the town. It would probably be a good idea to have some legal advice on how to move forward, how to accept whatever data you're getting.
Yes, exactly, that's the issue. I mean, I believe that, okay, so I can just tell you a little bit about the DRB.
Because the expectation is might end up going to court.
Yeah.
If they don't do it right, then
Right.
they end up putting it costing us more money down the road.
We don't wanna have to have legal representation at a court case in the future.
Right, we want to win the case, so we want to do it right now, so we can win the case later.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice, yeah, I can just say the DRB is not an on-the-record town, which means we behave as an on-the-record town, but what it means is that the decisions we make hold in court, and if things go to the environmental court or appeal to the environmental court, then they just look at our process. And then if we do it, you know, and then they judge on us, basically.
So
But
you wanna make sure the process
It's
is
done.
followed.
yeah, even if it goes to environmental court, I want us to have done it right.
Mhm.
And I also wanted to have it done right so that I can say, hold ground with this person who is challenging every aspect of this situation.
Yes, I would move that we authorize Janice Walraven, the chair of the DRB, to consult with the town attorney on this case.
I promise I won't spend a lot of time.
I would second that.
Are all in favor?
I,
Aye. Patty?
Aye.
Dennis?
Okay, then,
Anything else? Is that
that's
good?
good, thank you, so
And I'll be in touch with you about how to get a hold of him.
okay, thank you.
And I'll give him a heads up that it's okay.
It's not Jim Demelli still, is it?
No, it's
No.
Michael Tarrant.
he said not that.
He's the son of Jerry Terrace?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, good,
Very good guy.
okay.
We do wanna make sure we keep track of whatever.
We do have a line item in our annual budget for legal fees, which we haven't had to use in years. So the DRB, it is within our annual budget that we do ask for a certain amount of money in case we need to consult a lawyer.
Okay.
So it's not outside of what's allocated to our board.
And I would recommend, if you're not doing it now, to kind of keep a log of. And any discussions, any paperwork, anything that's coming from either party. So the lawyer is gonna ask you for all this.
Yeah.
And he's gonna want it to understand fully what's been happening.
Well,
A
there's
lot of it's an email already, right? It's already
there's a
done.
whole chain of emails.
Okay.
But what I basically as said to the person who's filed the appeal, that I wasn't gonna respond to any further emails until I consulted with our lawyer, just because a lot of it is information that I don't think is relevant to the appeal. The thing is the appeal is very narrow, but there's a lot of externalities that are being brought in. And there's, we have to follow state statute in making these decisions, so I just want to make sure they all line up.
And we wanna be sure we're doing that to avoid future.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like a good
So
idea.
I'll send me an email and then
Okay.
I'll get ahold of the lawyer and get you two in touch.
Okay,
Great.
it's just, I don't want him to have to necessarily get involved in the whole case, because it's pretty narrow, but within it, the scope, I want him some clarity.
Yeah, great.
That's great.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Anything else?
Yeah, the next agenda item.
Oh, I didn't look that far down. Discussion of traffic control needs for the Mosaic project on the Mill Street Bridge.
Yeah, so thank you all for approving it,
Yeah.
we got the funds, and Alice, I want to give Alice a shout out.
Hey,
She's
Alice.
been just
Oh, yeah.
a champion and in this project. And hi Alice, you're gonna take yourself off mute.
She's not trying to talk, that was bad.
Okay, so
She's up in.
so I just want to give you an update that we have set, because it's this. We need to close off the bridge for a one afternoon or evening to clean the bridge. And then we need to close it off for maybe 2 or 3 other times with community to decorate the bridge. And that will happen in the weeks of August 12th through the 25th. Not that whole period, but I want to give you a heads up that in those 2 weeks, there'll be some times where we need to reroute traffic.
Okay,
And we need to inform the road commissioner and Sarah, Alice, you know, the fire folks who do we need to
the
inform?
guy sitting right next to it.
Yeah, the emergency people need to know.
And
Yeah.
and also me, because I post the ways, road closings.
Great, thank you. And then we need barricades and somebody to set up those barricades, somebody who's official in our town to set up those barricades for us and take them down for us. And we'll have all that information by the end of July. So it'll give you a couple of weeks of a head up when we need them.
It seems like the road crew might be the ones who have
Right, that's what I was thinking.
the road crew would have the sawhorses and the signs and some
Okay.
detour or whatever you have to.
Right.
So I could reach out to them when we have the dates.
Yeah,
Yes.
And Alice probably knows how to get a hold of Michael Bingham and Garrett, the fire chief.
Yeah, Brandon,
Yeah.
spanking.
Yeah, and question for you, Janice.
Taking old.
Question for you, Janice, if, are you doing both sides of the bridge at the same time, or are you doing just, in other words, is it a 2-lane closure or a 1-lane closure?
We believe that it should be the whole lane, the whole bridge and reroute, because traffic going by, even if it's one side, is dangerous with children and families, which we're hoping to have. So it'd be best just to have the space, and I'm hoping that we gather enough people to do it both sides in 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
That's the goal, and so it's safest just to not have to manage traffic.
Yeah,
Just
And
have to-
it sounds safer, we could go around.
You just walk
yeah,
around.
the lovely nature of our little village,
Yeah, right.
right?
We know from the parade.
Yeah. And I just want to let you know that I'm gonna do a survey in July, gathering the information from our community of who's available and wants to do it, so
Great.
that's what I.
Well, that's very exciting, and but do check with the
Road crew. and
Gary and
Gary.
the road crew.
Okay,
Yeah.
dates
Michael.
and times when I
Right,
get them,
yeah, great,
that's what I wanted to let you know.
great, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alice, did you want to add anything?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So Janice and I had a conversation about this. Janice, we talked about posting the closure on social media too. I'm wondering if that's something the town should do, or if you should do, just to give people the heads up.
Like Plainfield people and from Portugal Forum?
Yeah, I mean, those are the ones, that's what I use. So,
What do you think?
And the town website.
Town website,
Yeah, if I get the information, I can post it for you.
on the
On
town,
all three.
three, okay,
Yeah, if you just give me the dates and the times, and I'll get it on Front Porch Forum, Plainfield people, and
That'd be great.
that would be great, I
Yeah.
can get you the times and the
Yeah.
dates again, as I said, the end of July,
yeah,
or before the 3rd of August.
yeah, I'll post a couple of days ahead of time so the public will be prepared to change their course.
Right, and then I'm gonna ask the neighbors of like busy times, because like maybe we can work actually when the traffic is not at its highest
Yeah, right.
flow.
Right.
I'm just gonna ask
And-
some of the neighbors.
one other question. I know detours, the way we do them, are important to everybody. And since we're just needing to work on that bridge, I'm imagining that the detoured route would be on Brook and then on Creamery. And then here's a question, and Michael's involved with this. How would the Hudson Avenue neighborhood feel if there was more traffic on that road? Or do you want to detour them all the way around to Main Street?
Normally, what we found out, and it became an issue for individual people, not me personally, but the people who walk their dogs, there's a very bad sight line coming over the hill as you go up on Hudson, and it's a danger to pedestrians and people.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be a good idea to around that way, I would just have them go all the way around the block.
Yeah, just local traffic
Right.
only.
Then we put local
Yeah.
traffic on signs on the ends of Hudson, you know.
Yeah.
Great.
And
All right. We're gonna, we're gonna decorate the railings of the Mill Street Bridge with mosaic tile and stone.
The railing is deteriorating, the railings are
As
deteriorating.
a part of an art, community, resiliency, surviving the flood. Alice, what is it? When the river rises, so do we?
Yep, that's right. Jamie said me that.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
It's a grant, so. And it's a great activity and a
The
great effort.
railings are deteriorating, you're gonna rehab them and cover them with
Art,
ceramic, with art, yeah,
beauty.
ceramic tiles.
All right.
Great,
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Now we're up to the emergency management report, Michael.
all right. There were two parts to this, and I just add a little bit of news that the consulting firm, SLR Consulting, led by the lead engineer, Roy Schiff, is going to begin a study of the dam's impact on flooding in the center of town, whether it is improving the upstream in particular impacts of the flood or if it makes the upstream impacts worse. So that study begins on July 24th. The second part is that we started work today on building a new floor underneath the Opera House stage that will be used for shelter supplies, and it's all part of the multi-step, multi-part getting the town hall ready, but that we worked on, set up the electrical work today. And the third thing related to that is that we also, in order to get people to evacuate, want to have a place for their pets, and I've got a budget item for cages for various sizes of cats and dogs, and we've negotiated 2 nights ago with the Opera House board, the Plainfield Arts, and they've agreed to let their carriage house be used as a pet shelter.
Oh, cool, great.
And that has shelving already in place that I can put the pet stuff on, and I'll get a gas, a propane heater that will keep it above freezing in the winter. They want as a sort of a quid pro quo with that the select board approved having that lower lot plowed as well, so that access to the carriage house would always be open, as well as improving the parking situation there. So they said that they would be happy to contribute the use of the carriage house if the town were comfortable adding plowing that additional area as part of its parking lot plowing right next to it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Michael Bingham isn't on the agenda for tonight.
Right, and we don't have to decide.
You can bring that up at our next meeting.
I can bring it up.
Yeah.
So that's my update on that.
Yeah.
And then the request for approval to set aside in escrow a shelter reserve fund is a formality. The shelter reserve fund was originally approved in 2017 at town meeting with $1,000 being set aside for shelter supplies. Unfortunately, at the time, the select board didn't actually set up a shelter reserve fund.
Okay.
So the $1,000 kind of been floating around in limbo, and now we have this new $39,000 that came in with the grant that Alice and I put together, which means that we wanted, every time we make a purchase out of that account, we want that account to be able to pay it out and have the funds be in that account for paying. So I thought a formal resolution by the select board to establish a shelter reserve fund is the last step of that.
What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, what I've done just for the short term is take the monies coming in, and there was approximately $2,500 in that whatever limbo emergency fund, and I put it there, and we can formally rename things and separate things out. I think it's fine. Just so you know, that I still have not paid back the revolving loan fund of the $4,000
Yep.
that was made for the deposit. And the reason for that gets back to this whole accounting. So the way the revolving loan fund is set up, it's actually in a different bank. And it's not formally integrated into the system. And I wanted to make sure I did the thing right before I took the money out, so that's what the delay is, but I have to figure it out by tomorrow because it's a new year, so.
So what's the motion?
The motion is for the town to establish a emergency shelter reserve fund.
Okay.
Emergency shelter
All right.
reserve fund that would be held in escrow over the fiscal years.
Okay. So I move that we do that.
And also.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, it's unanimous. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
So we would start with $1,000.
Well, it's more than that.
It's more.
There was money added to it in the.
And then you could use it for grants and things like your emergency fund that you have.
No, it's actually, the way the original motion went was to buy supplies and to have money available on the. In other words, the day of a disaster, suddenly we have to have a lot of things, including food, emergency food for people staying.
So what happened was this was set up many years by the.
Yeah, it sounds like it,
But
yeah.
there isn't a methodical way of identifying, in other words, oh, there's probably a list at the end of the year, and you just ship money into this, and this for this amount. No,
None of that.
nothing.
Okay.
So that's why for many years, even though the fund was owed stuff, it just wasn't paid into, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sounds like.
What about the discuss who is authorized to sign payment documents?
Yeah, that part I went, tried to find out, well, I asked actually if a member of the select board would be able to find out from Vermont League and Cities in Town, who is qualified. And then I realized for the FEMA check, in other words, if that FEMA money comes in, there's sometimes agreements that are signed in conjunction with it. And in the past, there has been a requirement that the person who's for the select board be ICS certified. And we lost our last ICS certified member when Tim Davis was.
Right.
So the question was, who could do it on behalf of the town when it is necessary? The emergency management director has been moved in that category statewide to become an officer of the town who is uncompensated. So now at least the emergency management can consult directly with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns the way the select board does. And I tried to get the answer from them, but the best answer actually came from Keith Coven, who is from the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission.
Right.
And he often helps people with the transfer of funds, completing of forms, and maybe negotiating with FEMA if necessary. And he said to accept the funds, you do not need a ICS certified person. So we are in the clear for now.
Oh, weirdly enough, I think I am ICS.
You are, but you're the town clerk, and I think the select board has to has to have. a
Yeah,
sign.
I'm just saying.
Really, or can the town clerk, can't the select board authorize the person who is ICS certified to sign it? I would think that would
Good
be.
question. I don't know. I'm ICS certified as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad and I
I don't
are.
think either of you should sign things like that without getting authorization.
Right.
So it would seem like that would solve the problem.
Yeah,
Would have been asked whether that would.
if it's legal, and
Yeah.
maybe that's a Vermont League of Cities and Towns question. I'm not sure. Do you want me to be the one to ask it?
You know, if you wouldn't mind.
No, I've been researching.
Yeah, great.
And
And
then
if they say no, then we'll have to figure something out. Maybe
Yeah.
one of us would have to get certified.
Yeah, well, either or and new certified, a new person coming on the select board.
Right.
Yeah. But in the meantime, since Bram and I are both certified, we could, it's just a question of whether it has legal impact.
Right, but if you were authorized to specifically by the select board on any given item, it would seem like that would do it.
Okay.
Okay, what are the, at some point, could you get standards of what it would take to be certified?
Yes,
ICS?
it's a training that is actually now, if I'm in fact, I think I'm correct, Gary, that it's online. To get ICS certified, ICS work, ICS 1.
Okay, so you just do online training and you. just-
Yeah, because I've got Lori Stratton, who I asked to take that training. So,
Right.
yeah.
So is that everything from?
Everything
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
So the next thing we have is the appointments. I'm not sure. This could be a tedious problem.
Well, I just, on the appointments, I forgot, Erica, the Costa is
Right.
interested in serving on the committee with Michael. and Sarah.
Oh, Lucinda Garthwaite too.
And Cindy Garthwaite, I guess.
So it's not on here already?
Yeah, their names are not Cindy Garthwaite, is Cindy Garthwaite on there?
Lucinda Garthwaite, yes.
I-
Former God board member.
Eric is not on.
It says appoint Erica DeCosta to one-year term.
No, that's a different committee, that's.
Not the same one. Which
So-
committee are you talking about?
This, the committee, it's, I think Michael is the committee to, it's defining the roles of the town clerk, town treasurer.
Yeah, it's,
So that one, it says appoint Michael Billingsley to town committee.
so we'd add two people names to that.
So who else do you want to add then?
Erica DeCosta and
Lucinda Garthwaite.
Lucinda Garthwaite.
Yeah.
Wasn't there fourth one? No, a third one?
Well, she's already on, we were talking about Sarah O'Brien.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lucinda, what's the last name?
Lucinda Garthwaite.
Garthwood?
Garthwaite,
Wait.
Waite.
Okay, good. All right, so what I was gonna do, but I guess it may not work for that one. Why don't we do that one right now separately? A motion to appoint those three people to that committee. I can make a motion, or do you want?
Yeah, I can certainly second that. What are we gonna do before we?
Well,
what I have to do for the rest of them?
What I was going to do, and I'm going to do it for all of this, actually, we modified the agenda item of appoint Michael Billingsley to town committee to formulate job descriptions for town clerk, town treasurer positions. And to a one-year term, no, that's a separate thing.
Yes,
Okay, so we've modified the one I just read about Michael Billingsley being appointed to this job description committee to add Erica DeCosta and Lucinda Garthwaite. So I move that we appoint those three people to that committee.
three people? It's me too, I'm.
So I said three, you,
Yeah, okay.
you and Aaron and Lucinda.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear it correctly, that's why I said, did you say two people or three?
No, I said three.
Three, okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Right, great. Now, for the remaining ones, if we're not modifying them, I would move that we make all the appointments listed on the agenda.
That's right.
Agree.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, so then those are all done. Because to go through it one by one would take forever.
And can I just say that it is great to have so many people willing to step up
Yeah,
and do things, mostly volunteer to help us out.
yeah, it's really well, yeah, highly appreciated. Yeah.
It really is. I appreciate it too.
Would it be helpful to read the names out loud so everybody knows?
They're on the agenda. Okay, so anybody at this meeting who's seen the agenda knows what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's gonna be in the minutes.
That's
It's gonna be
right.
in the minutes.
Good point.
It'll all be there, so. Okay, so then we're up to approve and sign Washington County Sheriff's Department contract for 24-25.
Right, that should be in the folder.
Oh,
The reason
that's
there was a delay. Because there was a blank in the plan, and now I filled it.
That's not it, is it? Okay. Is that it?
No, it's not.
That's something else, I just want to find it on there. So I can. Private COVID policy.
Thank you. I call the board.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Gary.
Thank you.
It takes a team.
Is it not in there? No. Figure
It's that there.
No, this is.
Let me make a.
Well, this is it here, hang on.
Oh,
It
okay.
might be right here, it is. All right, so what we have is
Oh, that's it.
Washington County Sheriff's Department. Enclosed is the law enforcement contract for the period July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025 with the Washington County Sheriff's Department. And the contract is it for a length, a cost of up to $10,000.
Yeah, it's up to $10,000, and the reason for the delay was that there was a blank spot with the $10,000. I didn't wanna
Right,
have them.
you didn't want to have no number in there.
Yeah, I think it's important.
How's that compared to previous years?
Yeah, actually, I looked it up, actually, in previous years, it wasn't filled in at all.
No, but I mean, how much have we spent?
Oh, it's roughly the same, I mean,
Okay.
and the last year it was 10 grand, and I think it was it's roughly, that actually, unlike emergency dispatch or something, it doesn't it's not rising exponentially.
Do we still share revenues from speeding tickets and things like that? Is that how that works?
Not so much, I mean, it's
Okay.
it's a really thin system.
Okay, all right, I just remember some of that going on in those days.
You want to make a motion? You want me to-
I'll make a motion that we accept the Washington County Sheriff's Department,
Do we approve it?
that we approve, it.
Yeah.
Yes, we approve.
Set the contract, Washington Insurance Department, in the amount of up to $10,000.
Up to 10.
Okay, great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. The ayes have it.
Are you gonna sign it
I
for your
already
board?
signed it, but I think,
Do we need a,
we all need to sign it?
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, why don't we do this? You want to move to?
I'll move that we
Authorize me to sign,
authorize Jim to sign for the board.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then I've already signed it, but I didn't put the date up for the date now. Okay. I might have to sign it another place too, double check. I'm there. Oh, I see where two companies. Great. All right. Now, we need to approve warrants, accounts payable June 14th and 25th, 2024. And payroll June 12th, 19th, and 26th, 2024. Can we get a motion on that?
I'll move that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Announce date for the next select board meeting.
And I put, there's a warrant that I brought in late, I don't know if it was that in there.
That's here.
Yeah, so basically.
And this is for what?
Well, there are a couple of tax bills that I need to get in, and it's about $19,000. One is retirement, and the other is I don't know if it's deferred comp, I can't remember. Oh, no, it's just the tax department, it says it on there.
These are to be paid out to,
So in other words here, glasses on me. So one is the Vermont retirement system and the other is just withholding tax.
Yeah.
So and it ends up coming to I just wanted to get it out tomorrow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In view of the fact that Patty can't sign this, I'd make a motion that we ask Jim to sign it for the board.
Well, if two of us sign it, that's good enough. We just need a job. Oh, no, because it's a 500 board. So you need to do it. Authorize me. Why, we need to authorize one of us to sign.
Yeah, well, I would authorize you to sign.
Okay, and first we have to approve it.
I agree with that.
Okay, what is it? Can you identify?
Sorry, so one is, it's basically, it's tax payment for.
Withholding and a end of the year payment for the.
Okay, so
For Vermont retirement system.
to pay to the Vermont Department of Tax.
Yeah, they're both, one is to the Vermont retirement system, one is the Vermont department tax.
Okay, so make payments in the amounts listed as totaling $19,120.74. And to authorize the chair of the, Jim Bowles, the chair of the board to sign.
Yes, I would make that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, I'll sign it.
Thank you, Jim.
Great, thank you. All right, that's one in there.
I'll have some clarity in terms of the next select board meeting, because I want to have a meeting, obviously, it's a tax rate. I'll have some clarity early next week. The state is going to come out with some figures for the school and also the program. I'm spacing on what the name of it is for veterans, the veterans pay. So we'll have some sort of clear numbers. As I said before, I'm not going to be able to get from FEMA the big number, which is very frustrating. But I think we can, we can go forward as best we can. I mean, as it just to give you the raw figures, were you to simply, once again, I don't know cash on hand, but if you just do the raw math and you take the grand list and you divide what we're trying to raise, it would be a 19-cent increase over last year. Now, I would like to bring that down significantly, And if I felt like if I knew that we were getting the FEMA money, it would be a forced increase. See what I mean? So that's, and I've explained that to them to a point where they don't ever hear from me again. But I still don't really have the answer, but we'll see also in terms of you know, there might be more cash on hand after we dust it. But
So you work with listers, you work with Carol, and you work with Penny
yeah,
also, and
yeah,
we're all
with
together.
Sandy and Penny, the thing is that, you know. We're gonna try to get a real number, but I think that the raw number is not, you know, sort of in the realm of reality. I mean, I think that's just because, you know, if we had an extra $250,000-300,000 cash on hand, like we normally do, this would be an issue, and we're probably gonna get a significant reimbursement, so, you know, you know, it's one of those things, it's, you know, but I've been having acid eating my stomach, you know, trying to get them to get off the dime and tell us what's going on, so.
So
Yeah.
the flood damage cost the town
Well, it's
over
320,000. Well, we didn't apply for all that, we applied for about 260, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we're expecting to have some sort of hit, but just not
Yeah.
pay everything.
That's a
out.
big hit, yeah.
Right. All right, anything else we could talk about? We did everything on the agenda, so.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I would move with the adjourn.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, it's unanimous.
Did we decide on the next meeting?
Thanks, Jeff.
There's some
You can have your own spot.
helpful information.
Oh, we're done.
About the, I don't know, it was next meeting.
Let's know July 8th, we're supposed to announce that.
Well, yeah.
It's not like now.
Well, I'll wait.
Thank you for that.
I'm gonna go next, let me just. Got it.
Okay,
Well,
Do you want me to bring this?
yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
thanks. Well, see ya.
Thank you both.
July 8th is our next meeting.
Jim, have you said it for your last meeting?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good.
I'm still renovating my house down here, so I'm not.
All right.
Still here. Hopefully I can go a little bit more. My plan is to go at least a couple of meetings past the election, to bring in whoever gets elected. And then I can take off that.
I'm just loading my, yeah, okay. Meeting.
Take your time.
Is there, I got nothing else here to do?
I gotta shut this down. Yeah,
Oh,
no, I don't think so. Yeah, I have to shut this off.
So is all this paperwork kind of left here, or how's that?
Yeah, they cleaned it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they left it here for us.
For us and then.